Greetings, fellow bridge lovers, and welcome back to the Bridge with Kai YouTube channel. It is almost the new year! Woo! 2026, here we come! And we just hit 900 subscribers recently. Thank you so much, everybody. We have come so far over these past 2 years of work that we have put into promoting Bridge online. And we are 100 subscribers. Well, 96 subscribers away from getting to our goal of 1,000 subscribers sometime in the near future. That would be absolutely huge. We've got plenty of other bridge content creators that have hit that 1,000 milestone. There is Brady Brott, there's John Stell Bridge Lesson, Peter Hollins hit it like a million years ago. Bridge with Steve recently hit it, and there's loads and loads of others as well. I know that Bridge Base Online just hit 10,000 subscribers. ACBL is up to 27,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. And Funbridge is somewhere around 10,000. I think it's somewhere more like 8.5, but we have a lot of channels out there that are growing in popularity, which is absolutely huge. I'm very excited to hopefully be one of them soon. And you could totally help me with that. It is completely free to subscribe on this YouTube channel, and all of the other social medias that I might have, those are in the description. I post a lot about Bridge because I love Bridge and I want to spread it online. So if you could do your little part in helping me with that, following, sharing, commenting, liking, doing all the little things, very much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Today for you, I have a pretty crazy hand with another made-up term that I had. I know, like, previously I had a little short that was all about a semi-squeeze, and people are like, what the heck is this, Kai? What are you talking about? It was a semi-squeeze, okay? I mean, it makes sense. And now I'm gonna give you a pseudo endplay. Let's figure out what that is together, okay? So let's get into this video where I describe a story from the NABC Plus pairs. I was playing with the absolutely outstanding Drew Cavalier once again. This was in the Philadelphia NABC, and I missed a pseudo endplay, but I'll show you what it was. Let's go. All right, I have this beautiful red hand where I have 11 cards in the red suits, which is always a fun thing. I'm like, oh boy, how am I gonna bid this one? And I have a 10 count, so I'm like, I am going to be opening this one. 6-5, come alive, let's go, baby. But it gets a little bit different, not necessarily difficult, but a 1 spade opener from East. So you're just like, okay, I'm gonna bid 2 spades, which is the Michael's Cupid, showing 5 or more hearts and 5 or more cards in some unspecified minor. Partner doesn't know yet, but they're gonna figure out mighty soon because I have 6 of them. But to be honest, things get a little bit messy when you have a 6-5 distribution and you do Michaels, because partner is not necessarily going to be expecting you for a 6-5 distribution. Lots of players would say that if you have 6 hearts and 5 diamonds, you would bid 2 hearts instead of Michaels because you want to get off your chest, like, I really like hearts. But the other way around, if you have 6 diamonds and 5 hearts, you don't necessarily care about showing a 6-card diamond suit because we care about the majors. So if the 2 spades bid gets off that we have 5 hearts, which is the truth, and 5 or more diamonds, who cares really about the length of the diamonds? The length of the hearts is what really matters. I bid Michaels here, and we get a double from West, and this is basically saying, yeah, you're going down in at least one of your suits. I'm comfortable, not necessarily penalizing hearts, but I'm also comfortable penalizing one of the minors. You have penalty values in at least one of the suits that I might have, which is hearts, diamonds, or clubs. So it's basically saying they've got values, penalty. Partner bids 2 no trump, which I understood to be, tell me what your minor is. Run. I was going to run anyway, so I kind of expected that this 2 no trump bid would be showing like a little bit something extra, which is a little bit weird because I've got 10 points, East opened, West doubled showing values. I didn't necessarily know, maybe Drew thought that there was a point in saying, well, tell me what your minor is, but like, I'm not gonna immediately run back to hearts, I'm going to run to my minor. Maybe there's an inherent difference between passing showing preference to the major or something. I don't know, but that's my limited knowledge of bridge theory talking. So partner bids 2 trump, which is definitely choose your minor. So I'm like, I have diamonds, yay. I wasn't super unhappy about this because if partner has preference for the minor, I have 6 of the minor. This is great. And then I see this double and I'm like, that's not necessarily great. Sure, partner has preference for the minor, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have loads of spades. They could have a bunch of clubs and just a few diamonds and be like, regardless, the minor is going to be better than hearts, so I have preference for minors. So when the double comes out, I'm like, well, I can't really do much else. I don't hate this, but I don't love this. It feels like everything is offside, and this is going to be really fun to play, right? Yay! And, you know, I didn't feel too bad when the opening league came out. I was like, oh, this seems like it could be okay. I have 2 spade losers for sure, and I have 4 heart losers to deal with. I could be trumping the heart losers, and it would be particularly easy if they did not lead a diamond, because I could just lose 2 hearts and 2 spades, making 3 diamonds, given that the 10 of diamonds does not become a trick for the defense. Like if West has 5 diamonds to the 10, which would be particularly unfortunate. Or I guess it would be something more like 3 diamonds to the 10, which is a lot more probable at the very least, because you'll be using your big diamonds to rough these hearts. So the 10 of diamonds might promote, but at the same time, your hearts might set up if you get a 4-3 split or something like that. So there's plenty of opportunities to make this contract. Let me show you what I did on this one. I won the card in dummy, and very important to notice that the 10 did fall here, which I was like, yes, let's go. That's a win right there. Now my diamond suit is solid. I am not going to be getting over trumped in any scenario. So now it goes heart, heart, ace, and then heart to the jack. So I got one of those roughs in, and then the king of hearts falls with east, which I decided is either one of 2 things. It's king doubleton or king queen third. I'm really hoping it's king queen third, because if it's king queen third, then my heart suit can naturally set up one last heart trick, and I would only have 2 heart losers and 2 spade losers, and I'd make the contract. But if it's king doubleton, it becomes a lot more difficult, because that means that West has the queen jack 9 remaining, and then I have 3 heart losers. So that could be unfortunate. I then decided to play a club, rough it back to my hand, and I just didn't necessarily know what I was supposed to do at this point. Like, I could try to draw trump, but I don't see what that would necessarily do. It seems quite clear that West has all the remaining diamonds based off of their double, because I mean they were just doing it off the fact that they had 4 diamonds, which is a little odd, so they really must have a lot of hearts. And for that reason, I didn't want to commit to just trying to play a heart, because that would automatically put me down. Notice how my 10 here, if West has the queen jack 9, could be a very useful card. Like if we're able to put West on lead, then they might have to play queen jack and then set up our 10 in some monstrous scenario, wink, wink. But I'm not sure what really got into my head. I played a spade here, which I'm not convinced is incorrect. The only problem here is now they can play a club, and now you're just even shorter in your diamond suit. Now you're of equal length, and once you get yourself off lead, then in theory all of the clubs can run. So at this point, I was like, it feels like my only legitimate chance to make this contract is to play the 6 of hearts and hope that West gets on lead and they're unable to return clubs, which of course is not ever going to happen. Like now we just have all these losers. Like it's nothing. So I went down. I don't know necessarily what I was thinking, but at the same time, I thought that everything was kind of hopeless. There wasn't much to do. So yeah, that's kind of how this hand went. But there was a really odd scenario that you can make this contract on the current holding. Yeah. So if you play ace of diamonds and now you just draw trump, right? Now that scenario I mentioned before, you can do it. You can play a spade, and now West has to lead into your hearts. They have to give you one more trick, which leads you to making, which is crazy. And it's not all that easy to prevent either, because you have to kind of see it coming from the defense. And I don't think either of the defenders really have the right picture to be able to know to do this, because the first thing that can happen is when you play a low spade here, West can play their ace, and then there's no blockage. So when you get back to that scenario, let's say it does go club, right? You get back to the same scenario where you've drawn the trump and all that. Now, when you exit a spade, East gets in and gets the rest of the tricks, right? And it's very difficult for West to do this because I'm leading the 3. Surely partner has something bigger than the 9. And if I had the king and I was just being tricky, you don't want to play the ace because it could be throwing away a trick. It feels kind of organic to do something like this. And at this point, East needs to just return a spade and get rid of my safe exit. And now West can play whatever they want. And now I'm the one M-played into giving West all of the heart tricks. Because if I just draw trump, now I'm going to be stuck in my own hand. And if at any point I play hearts, then they can just win their 9. Like there's nothing else here. So yeah, it's a really interesting thing that the way that things went actually led to this possible scenario of when I do this, a very logical play of putting it around to your partner's hand, and now East deciding to exit a club because it's a safe exit now leads to this position where you can do an end play, but I call it a pseudo end play because in theory it is avoidable. It's just a little bit difficult to see that you need to either play your ace or East does need to return a spade immediately. So that was a sad little board from my perspective. Just tried to set up the heart some more, which really I should know off of the bidding that West holds this, not necessarily this 2-5-4-2 shape, but like something where they have 5 hearts and 4 diamonds and are going to be able to beat my hearts at all times. So I need to find some sort of crazy end play that could work. So this could have been a monstrous board, but instead it was not a bottom, but a near bottom, because there were some people that were down more or doing the exact same thing, doubled and all of that. But the double here did hurt us. But yeah, that was this hand. I hope you enjoyed. Did you see this possible pseudo end play position? Do you believe that this is a pseudo end play? Is Kai just making silly stuff up again? You're making things up again, Kai. Let me know your thoughts, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Keep on bridging, everyone. Bye.